Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland, and today we're going to be talking about Roger Waters. Roger Waters is back in the news. No surprise there. A new documentary is out called The Dark Side of Roger Waters. Now, at the end of this documentary, the producer said they tried time and again to get a hold of Roger Waters to make a statement, or at least a written statement for them to include in the documentary, which they did not get. But surprise, surprise, days later, Roger Waters shows up in yet another interview attacking the documentary. So what are we to make of all of this? Well, first of all, let's take a look at some of the things brought up in the documentary. Two of the individuals who talk about Roger Waters in this documentary are producer Bob Ezrin, who Roger Waters has worked with in the past, and his saxophone player, Norbert Satchel. Now, both of these guys give us specific instances when Roger Waters, in their opinion anyway, behaved and spoke badly about the Jewish people. Now, Bob Ezrin stated that he was a very good friend of Roger Waters at one time, but isn't so much anymore because of recent statements that he's made. He says that he still has a love for Roger Waters, but he doesn't agree with what Roger Waters has to say about Jewish people in general. Now, Norbert Satchel, his former saxophone player, gave us several instances in which Roger Waters evidently behaved badly. The famous incident at the restaurant where he told them to remove all this Jewish food, as well as an incident and a show, I guess, that featured what certain women do with certain sexually oriented parts of their body. Of course, the documentary includes the little snippet of Roger Waters telling his audience that if you are a fan of Pink Floyd but don't like Roger Waters, he says, "F off to the bar," while I continue the show. Now let's get back to Roger Waters' rebuttal. Now, in the rebuttal I read, it's very generic. All of his statements regarding this documentary are very generalized, all right? He does not take up any of the specifics of this documentary. Rather, he just says that he has lived his life in support of Jewish people and that his only criticisms is of the state of Israel. And yet this documentary brings up the famous emails that ordered certain things to be put on the pig at his live concert. Now, as longtime viewers know, I've always been against any rock stars, any rock icons, turning their shows into a pulpit to either preach their politics or their way of life views. If they wish to do that, include it in your lyrics, and we as an audience will get it. We're not as stupid as you think we are, Roger. And that goes for Ted Nugent as well. You know, it doesn't matter which part of the political aisle you're on. I don't go to rock concerts myself to be preached at, and I don't think most of us do. But Roger was fully invited to participate in this documentary. All right, so now, did the documentary have an agenda that he wanted to avoid? Probably. No doubt about it, in fact, and I could see that. But what was wrong with him supplying a written statement? If they had agreed to read the whole thing in full, we would have got an idea of what he felt about what they were bringing up. Instead, what did we get? We get him making a blanket statement that anybody who truly knows him knows that he's not anti-Semitic. And both Bob Ezrin and Norbert Satchel have stated they do know him and that they have been there when he's made these kind of statements. Now, I'm a fan of Roger Waters as an artist, not so much as a guy, as a man. I don't care for his politics, and I don't care for his whole approach. But at one time, I even made a video stating that the next thing out of Roger Waters' mouth with David Gilmour's wife would be to sue her. Yet that never materialized. And you kind of gotta wonder. With some of the information in this documentary, there's even reason to believe that the guy is misogynistic. If these tales are true. Now, in the end, it gets down to which of these two sources you're going to believe, the documentary or Roger Waters' rebuttal. I would have a lot more easier time believing Roger Waters if he had been a little bit more specific. But his blanket statement, barely touching on specifics, makes me doubt the man yet once again. All right, quick video. As many viewers know, my wife's been in the hospital and it has been tough for me to shoot these videos. I've got kittens on the porch. My studio's not available to me. She's feeling much better. And a big thank you to all of you for your support in the comments. I've read every single comment to my wife and her spirits are up. She's been out of the hospital for 3 days and so far, so good. All right. I'm Michael Nolan. This is The Bottom Line. Together, folks, you and I, we are the tribe. And I'll see you in my next video.